The Meridian Modeling Agency conference room smelled like expensive coffee and disappointment. I sat in the back corner, iPad in hand, watching the Monday morning meeting unfold like a slow-motion car crash. 3 years of building my modeling career, 2 years of secretly buying shares in the agency, and it all came down to this moment. All right, people, let's talk about the Versace spring campaign. Derek Fontaine, our fashion director, stood at the head of the table like a general addressing troops. His Italian suit cost more than most people's cars, and he never let anyone forget it. We need to make some adjustments to our roster. I shifted in my seat, already knowing where this was going. The Versace campaign was my baby. I'd been their face for 3 seasons running. But that was before the accident, before the medications, before the 20 pounds that saved my life but apparently killed my career. Melissa Santos. Derek pulled up my headshot on the screen. Not my recent headshot, the one from 2 years ago, when I was 19 and weighed as much as a strong sneeze. We need to talk about this situation. What situation? Asked Janet Palmer, my booker, though her nervous glance at me suggested she knew exactly what situation. Don't play dumb, Janet. Derek clicked to the next slide. Photos from last week's charity gala. Look at her. Then look at what Versace wants. Another click, showing Versace's mood board of skeletal teenagers. We need someone who looks the part. Melissa's gained weight. The room went silent. 20 people, and not one of them looked at me. I kept taking notes on my iPad, each word archived, each moment documented. She's still beautiful, ventured Kimmy, one of the junior agents. Sweet girl, new to the industry, still believed in fairy tales. This isn't about beautiful, Derek snapped. This is about brand image. Versace isn't paying us $2 million for body positivity. They're paying for aspiration. For perfection. For size 0. I thought we were moving past that, someone muttered. Moving past making money? Derek's voice dripped condescension. This is fashion, not a therapy session. Melissa Santos is now a size 6. 6. Do you know what that means? That she's a healthy weight for her height? The voice came from the doorway. Marcus Chun, my business partner, though no one in the room knew that yet, strolled in with Starbucks and a smile sharp enough to cut glass. Marcus. Derek barely acknowledged him. To the rest of the agency, Marcus was just the numbers guy, the accountant who kept the books. They had no idea he owned 33% of the company, or that I owned the other 67%. Don't interrupt, Chin. This is a creative discussion. Derek turned back to the screen. As I was saying, we need to cancel Melissa's contract. Today, before Versace sees recent photos and pulls the entire campaign. That seems harsh, Janet said carefully. Melissa's been with us for 3 years. She's professional, reliable, and fat. Derek cut her off. Look, I like the girl. Sweet kid. But this is business. We can't have our reputation destroyed because one model discovered carbohydrates. I believe the medical term is recovered from anorexia, I said quietly from my corner. Every head in the room swiveled toward me. Derek's face went through several colors before settling on an alarming shade of purple. Melissa. His voice was ice. Models don't speak during agency meetings. My mistake. I stood, smoothing down my size 6 dress, the horror, and walked to the front of the room. Please, continue discussing how you plan to fire me for surviving an eating disorder. That's not, Derek sputtered. No one said anything about. Actually, you did. I pulled up my iPad, swiping to the audio recording app that had been running for 20 minutes. Would you like me to play it back? The part about discovering carbohydrates was particularly charming. You recorded this? His voice pitched higher. That's illegal. In New York, single-party consent state, Marcus said helpfully, sipping his latte. One person in the conversation can legally record. Melissa's been in the room the whole time. Completely legal. Who asked you? Derek rounded on him. Know your place, accountant. My place. Marcus grinned. Oh, this is going to be fun. Derek, tell me, when was the last time you actually looked at the agency ownership documents? What does that have to do with anything? Everything. I pulled up a document on the conference room screen, replacing my headshot with legal papers. Meridian Modeling Agency ownership as of last Tuesday. Melissa Santos, 67%. Marcus Chin, 33%. The silence that followed was so complete I could hear the traffic 30 floors below. That's... Derek's mouth opened and closed. That's impossible. Is it? I tilted my head. Let's see. I started buying shares 2 years ago when the previous owner wanted out. Back when I was making $800,000 a season. Before I discovered carbohydrates, Marcus helped structure the deal. You're lying. Am I? Marcus stood, pulling a folder from his bag. Termination papers. Already prepared. Not for Melissa, though. He slid them across the table to Derek. You can't fire me. Derek exploded. I'm the fashion director. I've been here 15 years. And in those 15 years, how many models have you driven to eating disorders? I asked conversationally. I have the numbers if you'd like to see them. 23 hospitalizations. 15 who left the industry entirely. 3 who didn't survive. That's not my fault. No. I pulled up another document. This is from Bethany Morrison's mother. Remember Bethany? 16 years old? You told her she was too chunky at 98 pounds. She died of heart failure 6 months later. I didn't force anyone to starve themselves? I finished. No, you just made it clear their careers depended on it. Like you did with me. Like you're trying to do now. The room was tomb silent. Janet looked like she might be sick. Kimmy was crying quietly. Here's what's going to happen, I continued. You're going to clean out your desk. Security will escort you. Your final check will include severance. Generous severance, more than you deserve, conditional on signing an NDA. This is revenge, Derek spat. No, I corrected. This is business. Your words, remember? And from a business perspective, you're a liability. Do you know how much we've paid in settlements over the years? How many clients we've lost because of your behavior? The clients love me. Loved. Past tense. Marcus pulled up his phone. I've been in contact with Versace all week. They're thrilled Melissa's healthy. They want her for their Beauty Beyond Boundaries campaign. 5 seasons, $3 million per. The contract specifically celebrates diverse body types. That's impossible, Derek whispered. That's the future, I said. And you're the past. The fashion industry is changing, Derek. Slowly, painfully, but changing. And dinosaurs like you? You're becoming extinct. You won't last 6 months without me, he threatened. I have relationships. Had, Marcus corrected. Past tense again. Funny how many of those relationships were actually with Melissa. Turns out designers prefer working with someone who shows up prepared, professional, and not strung out on diet pills. I'll sue. With what? I asked. The money you embezzled? Oh yes, we know about that too. The kickbacks from booking fees? The deals you made under the table? Would you like me to continue? Derek's face had gone from purple to white. How long have you known? 2 years, I admitted. Since I started buying shares. Due diligence is fascinating when you actually do it. Then why? Why wait? I smiled. Because I needed to be in a position to actually change things. Minority shareholders can complain. Majority owners can act. Melissa bought the agency last week, Marcus announced to the room. You're talking about our boss. You just didn't know it yet. His termination papers? I held them up. Already printed. Just needed your signature, Derek. Which you so thoughtfully provided by trying to fire me for being a size 6. Security appeared at the door. Marcus had texted them during my speech. Clear out your desk, I instructed. Leave the company laptop and phone. And Derek, that suit you're wearing? The one charged to the company card? I'll expect that return too. You can't be serious. Deadly. I turned to address the room. For everyone else, know this. Meridian is under new management. We'll be implementing new policies starting immediately. Minimum age of 18 for all models. Mandatory health checks. And I mean actual health, not just weight. Mental health support on site. And anyone who suggests a model should lose weight for a job will be terminated immediately. But someone started. The industry is changing. I cut them off. We can lead that change or be buried by it. I choose to lead. Anyone who can't handle that is welcome to follow Derek out the door. No one moved. Good. I nodded. Janet, I want you to call every model Derek dropped for gaining weight. Offer them representation again. Full contracts, standard rates. All of them. Janet's eyes widened. Every single one. Kimmy, you're our new fashion director. Congratulations. Me, Kimmy squeaked. But I'm only 23. And you're the only person in this room who defended models' health over profits. The job is yours if you want it. Ah, yes. Yes. Derek was being escorted out, but he turned at the door for one last shot. You'll regret this. When the agency fails, when you're crawling back. Derek, I interrupted. I'm 5'10", a size 6, and I own a modeling agency worth $50 million. I also have a bachelor's in business from NYU that I earned while walking runways. The only thing I regret is not doing this sooner. The fashion world will never. The fashion world is already calling. Marcus held up his phone. 17 messages since word got out about the acquisition. All wanting to work with the agency that's revolutionizing beauty standards. Your move, Derek. Or should I say, your exit? Security led him away, his Italian shoes clicking their last song down our halls. I turned back to the room, to the faces staring at me with mixtures of awe, fear, and hope. Now, I said, sitting down at the head of the table, my table, in my agency. Let's talk about that Versace campaign. And this time, let's focus on finding models who look like actual humans. Revolutionary concept, I know. Melissa, Janet raised her hand tentatively. What about your modeling career? Oh, I'll keep modeling, I grinned. Size 6 and all. If clients don't like it, they can find another agency. Something tells me they'll adapt. My phone buzzed. A text from Donatella Versace herself. Heard you bought Meridian. Brilliant. Lunch Tuesday? We need to discuss the new campaign. P.S. Size 6 looks perfect on you. I held up the phone so everyone could see. Any questions? I asked the room. Just one, Kimmy said, already settling into her new role. When do we start changing the world? I smiled, thinking of all the girls who'd starve themselves a little less tonight, all the models who'd keep their contracts despite gaining weight, all the lives we might actually save. How about now? The room erupted in applause. Marcus raised his coffee in a toast. And somewhere in the building, Derek Fontaine was learning what happened when you confused a survivor with a victim. I'd gained 20 pounds and lost my patience for bullies. Best trade I ever made.